Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I am Myra, your host today, and I'm very, very excited to introduce Doreen, who recently had a soul ascension hypnosis with me just a few weeks ago. Hi, Doreen. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much for just spending this time here with me and for your openness to share your story and your session because it was pretty wow.
Yes, it was just kind of natural for me. So,
Yeah, you kind of when you came out of it, you were just the processing of
yes,
everything you received, plus also forgetting a lot of it as well.
yes, hmm
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
absolutely.
So Doreen, let's just get to know you a little bit, and why you decided to have a session.
Well, from my earliest memory, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel like everyone else. I'm an only child, so I only had really my parents to guide me, and this feeling just never went away. So one day when you just came across actually my TikTok, just I was I started listening to the other people and I thought, okay, there's other people having this experience and I had to see you. I had to know if what I was feeling was real.
Right.
So
There are
mhm,
so many people that feel the same way you do, right?
yeah.
Growing up, maybe even not as an only child, but with siblings, and they still feel
Yeah.
that, right?
Yes.
They still feel that. So
Yeah.
there is absolutely a huge community of
Yes.
like-minded
Yes. And my heart really
people.
goes out to those people because even let's say it might even be worse if I had brothers and sisters and really felt like someone that didn't belong, but
Mhm.
it's difficult, and I have had some difficult times in my life, and I'm just hoping that maybe some other people can realize they're okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right. So when we met during our consultation, you had mentioned a couple of encounters that
Yes.
you had, and
hmm
that sort of set the bar of where I thought we were going to go.
hmm
Are you okay talking about that now?
absolutely.
Okay. So what was the first time that you had an ET encounter?
Right. I was around 6 years old. My parents and I were on the way to the drive-in, and we were walking out to our car in front of our home. And I saw I can still remember it vividly, a full spaceship literally across the street where there was supposed to be a house, and a house I had been in before as a little kid that goes to neighbors' houses and plays. And the house was not there, but the
Hmm.
spaceship was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's like I know that we live in illusion, and boy, they just showed that to you.
Yes.
That
Yes.
what is projected is not real. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. It is crazy. It is crazy. So I was not one to open up to my parents. I never really felt comfortable um, telling them everything or anything, maybe.
Yeah.
So I just remember acting like everything was okay as I'm walking to the car. And then when I get in the car, I do remember, and I'm old enough to not have really a seatbelt on. So I was kind of cuddled up in the back seat and just closing my eyes so tight and just saying, I'm not seeing, make it go away, make it go away, make it go away.
Right.
And then as we're driving away, I'm just going up behind the back seat and peeking, and whoo, there's a house again.
There's the
And
house.
that was my first time that I remember.
Wow. So yeah, basically, even your parents, of course, didn't see it because they were not on the same frequency. It just
Yeah,
goes to show that as a child, you are so high vibing and you're not even aware, right?
right.
Wow, wow. I wonder if the people across the street were ETs. It
I
makes
don't
me
know.
wonder. It's like,
It
where did they
it
go?
does. They did have some issues in that home.
Mm.
Um, that, I'm not going to go into because, the court,
Right.
but I do remember that was a house that had a lot of things going on
Okay. Mhm.
there. Hmm.
All right. So you mentioned that memory to me, and then there was another memory when there were no other encounters until much, much later, actually more recent, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Hmm.
Of course,
20,
I've had
I'm sorry, it was
many, many,
2015.
yes,
Right.
I've had many, many different things going on in my life. But when we're just talking, what I attribute to ET encounters, yes, because of course I've seen orbs. I've had someone, stroke my back when I'm trying to sleep. There's other things, but ETs, I thought, okay, this one might have been since I was just laying in bed. I had recently broken my leg. I had a cast from my ankle all the way up to my groin area. It was quite a cast.
Wow.
And I woke up sometime like in the early morning feeling really euphoric and quite pleasurable. Like I'll go ahead and just take me up anytime. But yes, just, and I kind of felt like there was a cord coming from my belly button that was sort of going off like an umbilical cord. And I just felt like super euphoric. But that's all I remembered. And I thought, oh, this is cool. Like, what just happened?
What just
Yeah.
happened? And the cool part is, under hypnosis, we were able to recall what happened.
Yes.
So stay tuned. How have you
Mhm.
felt after your session?
After my session, I feel relieved. I have a sense of just, I feel like maybe a weight has been lifted off of me because before that, I had like such an urgency, a need to know something. But after, I'm a lot more calm. And then I'm seeing different synchronicities just in my current life, with my relationship with my husband, with the things I adore and feel comforted by in my home. And that sense of urgency is kind of gone. And I feel more serene, happy, calm, and um, I feel
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
good. Yeah, there's also a sense of just closure, right?
Yes.
Because we really did learn quite a bit in your, so we're going to sort of talk about the things that you were able to recall
Yes.
under hypnosis.
Mm.
We did revisit the memory of when you were a little girl and you did in fact see this big ship. I think you were able
Yes.
to describe it a little bit more. Um, and then throughout the session, we just made some stops, some extra stops that in your mind you had no memory of it.
No.
And the next time they visited, you were able
Yes.
to remember that you were, I believe, around 8 years old,
Hmm.
playing outside by yourself. Let's talk
Yes.
about the robots.
Yes.
What did you see?
So what's really funny is I can still see those robots clearly. I have a real way when I dream, everything is in color and it's beautiful, and I can still see them in my mind's eye right now. And they just seem to be just maybe about 4 foot tall. And now that I think about it, it's probably more like a uniform or something they had on, but just kind of like they seemed like robotic to me because I just remember like a metallic looking head, metallic gloves or hands. The rest seemed like a black uniform, maybe that an astronaut would wear, but it was black. And
Yes,
they just were little playful robots.
they were
Yeah.
playful. And again, if your parents had stepped out, they wouldn't have seen what you were seeing, right?
Right,
There's no
absolutely.
way.
I had a lot of alone time, especially outside in my front yard and backyard as a child. I can imagine this probably went on more than what we went into, but we only had one session. I'm thinking it probably went on many times when I
Yeah.
needed comfort or anything like that.
Yeah. And we've determined that they showed themselves to you as
Hmm.
very small, short, uh, robotic, playful, because they were playing with
Yes.
you, almost like
Yes.
peekaboo,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That they would appear to you like that to not scare you.
Yes.
Because if they
Yes.
had shown themselves as what they really look like to a child, that would have been not good.
Right. Right.
Yes. And how did you feel about them?
Um, at that time, I remember just feeling happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Just being happy around them.
Hmm.
And that seems to kind of be a theme. And so, yeah, that's
There
something
is,
that I can think about during meditation and things like that.
yes, yes, there is a theme. Each time you recalled a memory of being with them, it was you were so happy
Hmm.
that you were there with
Yes.
them. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. We moved ahead, and then there was another memory that had fragmented. We brought that up. You
Hmm.
were about 12, 13 years old in your
Yes.
room.
Yes.
What happened there? What do you remember there?
Then again, also, I remember them being larger, still sort of that same uniform or metallic, um, face and hands, but comforting me again.
Hmm.
That's why I think that probably I don't remember many times when they came and comforted me.
Mm,
Yeah. And actually, it's bringing up some emotion. I don't want to cry.
I know. I know.
um, it's a happy emotion. I feel really happy and thankful and grateful that they have helped
Hmm.
me throughout my life.
Yes.
Yes.
So many people that I talk to, they feel so alone, right?
Yes.
They feel
Hmm.
so alone. And, when the guides come in, it's like, I know physically you feel that you're alone, but you're not. So
Right.
interesting that you said how they come, at night and hold your hand. And
Yes.
um, I've had something in my bed sleeping, and it was there last night,
Uh-huh.
and it sort of tickles. It tickles my back. I could
Hmm.
be kind of laying sideways, and
Hmm.
it's like this, almost like someone's grazing the back, and
Yes.
it's so soft, and I usually have to arch because it
Hmm.
it just tickles me, and I usually
Hmm.
tell them don't do that because I am so ticklish.
Yes.
I am so ticklish, but I have felt that now for years. This feeling of being stroked,
Yes.
and touched. Um, yeah, there's no other
Hmm.
explanation. And I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. Um, I usually would say, thank you for being here. Thank you for checking on me. Yeah, but I'm very ticklish. So, yeah. All right.
And even knowing that is so comforting because yes, throughout the years, because of the different sensations that we get, the actual feeling of stroking on your back, I have learned to put up some barriers. And if I don't like the particular feeling, sensation, or maybe like say one time I was in my backyard, I was doing gardening, and I someone kind of patted me on the bottom in a playful way, which they might have thought was hilarious. But since I don't know who you are, I did
Yes.
say that let's not do that anymore. But yeah, you do learn how to be like, oh, thank you, thank you for being
Yes.
here and all that. Or, hey, that's a little, I'm still human. So that's inappropriate, no patting me on the bottom.
Right, right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right. You also recalled there was a memory that you remembered that where you saw that sort of whirlpool tornado coming out of your belly button. Let's talk
Yes.
about that.
Yeah. Other than I didn't remember anything other than just the feeling of total bliss. And in my mind's eye, I see it as sort of red or reddish, not opaque, but sort of see through, and a little like sort of tornado coming up from my belly button and kind of drifting off into what have been the bathroom wall or something like that, and the wall from the bedroom into the bathroom. That's about it. That's really all I recalled here.
Until,
That is not
yes.
all I recalled in hypnosis, but that's all I recall here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We discovered that you had just returned from the ship under hypnosis. So that was really cool.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was the moment. That was the moment that you got to actually see
Yes.
your race,
Yes.
your star family,
Yes.
what they really look like. And
Yes.
that was pretty. I loved when you saw yourself,
Yes.
I loved how you said, I am beautiful.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was the sweetest.
Yeah. I'm getting all emotional
I
again. Oh my
know.
gosh. Yes, it's such a surprise. You think, it might be odd or uncomfortable for someone to see themselves in a different way, but yes, I saw myself as beautiful. I was
Yes.
I was beautiful. I am beautiful. So, yes.
All right. Well, let's not keep them waiting. I guess let's talk
Okay.
about, yeah, what sort of race or being were you?
I'm a mantis. I'm a praying mantis. I was the
Hmm.
most beautiful. I felt like a female energy praying mantis. And it was definitely something I did not expect. That was totally uh, just a non thing with me. But when I
Yes.
saw myself, I feel so happy. I feel so proud. I felt so beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I remember when you came out of it, you said you were so connected to that you in that
Mm-hmm.
moment. I don't know if you remember saying this. You said, I think I'm going to cut my hair because I have the most beautiful jawline, like so, and I think I might cut my hair and just get some big glasses.
Yes, I do remember thinking that I would want to look like that. I remember when I was younger, because I'm older now, I do have a wider jawline, but I did have such a distinct, and when I was younger, I didn't like it, but it was very pointy. And
Mm.
now maybe I know why. So I had a
Yes.
very pointy, yes. Of course, the larger head came to a point, and I had much larger eyes. And yeah, I'm already thinking about doing my hair in a different way to kind of accentuate that. Yeah.
That is adorable. I want to talk a little bit about um, mantis beings from Debbie Solaris's website. Um, the Antarians are a mostly non-physical star race at this time, although it is thought that they were once physical beings who had visited Earth during ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
Antares is a center for spiritual awakening, and they serve as protectors until the end of this galactic cycle. The Antarians benefit from relaying and receiving information from Earth as they are in process of transmuting energy on some planets which are under their care. Despite Antares being a stargate like Arcturus, Antarian energies are quite different from the Arcturians. While the Arcturians have assisted the Earth in their group missions, the Antarians have not. Antarians are the gateway keepers of the higher realms and dimensions. They help facilitate souls shifting into higher states of consciousness. The Arcturians, on the other hand, process a soul first, and when the soul has evolved farther in consciousness, it passes through the Antarian portal that gives access to higher frequencies within this universe. Antares is considered to be the stargate that represents Mother God consciousness, whereas Arcturus is the representation of Father God consciousness. Antares is the location of one of the meeting places for the Galactic Council. The council heads of all major collaborative star races within this galaxy who are united in peace and love in a co-creative process of the ascension process of the Milky Way galaxy. Thought you might like that.
I love it. I'm sorry, I have some tears. Hold on. I'm just
Okay.
like, so this like really gets me. Also, there's not a whole lot out there. Thank you for sharing that, because if you look up mantis beings online trying to get information, it's
Mm-hmm.
a little difficult.
Yeah.
So
You just need to
I
know where to look.
appreciate. Yes, absolutely. So you'll have to help me with that, because I
Yes.
am interested. I want to learn more, and really kind of lean into that and just kind of know what's going
Mm-hmm.
on in my life and with
Beautiful.
me. Yes.
Yes. So what's really interesting, let's talk about the bug collection, okay? Which totally made sense that
Yes.
you are a mantis being, but let's talk about how you used to collect bugs. And now as an adult, you have them all over
Mhm.
your house, even
I do.
before you knew that you were a mantis being. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. And I will tell you that some people have come to my home, and because where I have the deceased bugs
Mm.
is in my kitchen, because I have like a little window, and they told me they wanted to be there. So I
Oh
put
my
them in the
gosh.
window. That's one of the pictures I sent you. I have like a little chair, and one of them has like a little tuft, and the other one sits on it. I just have always loved them, and uh, I they just comfort me. I don't know. I also have pictures of them, and then later I was sitting on my couch and I'm looking forward, and I have other little plaques that are bugs on my walls, which I'm not even thinking about. And then I had
Wow.
actually a picture of a mantis that my daughter just randomly took, that she just felt I needed that. It was a mantis on a rose. She took a picture of it, blew it up to about 8 by 10. I keep it
Wow.
next to my bed because it is
What?
comforting. And the mantis is looking right at me, but I didn't put two and two together.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yes, I every time I see something that has to do with a bug, I've got to have it. I've got to have it. I love bugs. Um, Anything bug. In fact, I have a bug necklace that an ex-boyfriend traveled to Egypt and just also thought I had to have. So I still have that. I don't usually keep things from my exes, but I kept that. So yes, I kept that.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that is amazing. Um, all right. So yeah, this is going to be a sort of two-part um, series with
Okay.
sharing your interview, and then we're going to share your session. And I just want to say thank you so much for just just being so candid and open, because there are so many people that you're going to touch with your story and help. So,
Yes. And thank you. Thank you for allowing me to. This is why I wanted to come on here, even though we might have some reservations or fears, but I truly believe I am here to help and to share love. And that's just what I wanted to do.
oh, thank you so much. It was my honor to guide you through it. And I wish you all the very best in your journey, and hopefully some more visits from them, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe when you're not feeling down, but just feeling happy, and they'll still come.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Doreen.